Let's focus first of all on his approval ratings. And as you mentioned, the arms deal was quite fresh in the memory when Zuma became the president because the charges were dropped just the month before. But what we see is that most South Africans gave him the benefit of the doubt. His approval ratings actually went up, Shahan, so much so that in May 2010 they were close to 70%. Of course, the country at that stage was on a high because we were getting close to the FIFA World Cup right here in this country, and we did a great job of it. The president taking some kudos for that. But then, Shahan, as you can see, the trend is downwards. In fact, 44% in November 2015, and then it plummets all the way down to 31% just a year later. So that's the single biggest decline throughout Zuma's presidency. What happened during that time? Well, Shahan, December 2015, remember this, Nhlanhla Nene, the finance minister, got the sack. He was replaced by Des van Rooyen, the man who became known as the Weekend Special, served in the finance ministry for just 4 days, I think it was. And then, Shahan, we had the eNCA ruling in March 2016, the Constitutional Court ruling that Zuma had flouted the Constitution by failing to implement the findings of the public protector, Thuli Madonsela. And it seems many South Africans didn't like the smell of that, Shahan, and perhaps not surprising, by November 2017, his approval rating dropping all the way down to 24%. The key takeaway from this, Shahan, it seems that Nene-gate and the eNCA saga were the straws that broke the camel's back. Not necessarily the arms deal allegations, but those crises that we saw in the latter part of 2015 and early 2016.
Now, this poll also asked people about the fight against corruption, Mike. How do we respond at different times during that Zuma so-called state capture era? Yeah,
well, let's focus on that specifically, Shahan, because Ipsos did ask that question, asking South Africans how they felt government was doing when it comes to fighting corruption at the state level. Let's take a quick look at those numbers. So again, Shahan, fairly low, but then it climbs in the year or two after Zuma becomes president. 30% in May 2009. Take a look at that. All the way up to 42% in May 2012. But unfortunately for Zuma, it headed down after that. May 2015, we're looking at 34%, Shahan. And then again, a similar trend. It drops below 30% in May 2016. The two key factors, the common denominators here, Shahan, the Nene and eNCA scandals. It seems that was what South Africans were most concerned about. And again, perhaps not surprisingly, a downward trajectory in terms of those ratings, falling to 25% at the end of 2017. Just to put things in perspective, Shahan, activists believe that the arms deal cost South Africa about 142 billion rand in today's money. The Nene scandal, when Nene was fired, actually cost South Africa close to 380 billion rand. If you look at where the JSE was before he was fired and where the JSE was after he was fired. So maybe it's not surprising that South Africans got so upset in 2015, 2016, and weren't so worried about the arms deal.
Yeah, I think there was one mess after the other, right? We're going to leave it right there. Michael Marillier.